Hey guys, welcome back to Reignited and our poor man's Hellcat build. Now in the last episode, you saw us drop the engine back into the engine bay, got that supercharger mounted up, looks fantastic. In this episode, we're back to my favorite thing, fabrication. We gotta get this turbo mounted. Now, as you may be able to tell, this turbo is a lot larger than I had anticipated. There's not going to be a ton of room in here. And unfortunately, my major concern is that the turbo itself is gonna be sitting fairly up high. I really didn't wanna go for the turbo out the hood look, but putting it down low is just not really going to be an option. There's just no room for the downpipe here. I'm gonna try to get it as low as I can, but it's still gonna poke above the hood, probably a good 3-4 inches, or where the hood would normally go. Now, as a first step, we kind of need to determine where our flange is going to be. It's probably going to sit somewhere right around here-ish, I would say. Now, what we have to do is we have to determine exactly how to mount the turbo flange itself. Now, this flange is a custom flange that I purchased. You can see that it has round openings on the bottom for the pipe to actually mate up and weld to, and it has the rectangular openings for a regular T4 flange on the top. So when you get this thing situated, the other thing we're going to do is the turbo manifold here on the driver's side. I've decided to put a V-band flange right here on the front. It's just going to be so much easier to pull just this flange portion of the manifold and leave the actual manifold itself bolted to the cylinder head. So let's go ahead and get that V-band on. Okay, I really think that's going to be the better decision here, because now we can actually unbolt it right here at the front of the manifold. We can leave this manifold actually bolted to the cylinder head. It's gonna make it so much easier for serviceability as far as installing and removing this actual flange here that goes to the turbocharger. Let's go ahead and get this manifold back on the engine. Another reason why I wanted to do it with the V-band flange here is I realized very quickly that if I actually built out the actual flange itself, I likely wouldn't be able to get this manifold on and off while it's in the vehicle, because it's actually a really tight fit inside here. And if I made it too long, there's no way I could have gotten that back in. So I was trying really hard not to do anything irreversible in this project, because as I said, after I've had my fun with it, I was planning on putting it back to stock and just selling it. So I was trying to make sure I wasn't doing anything that was going to affect the quality of it when it was back to stock. However, I do really want this turbo to sit in the place where I want it to, and that required cutting out part of the little front fender tray right here where the original airbox sat. Now, everything is still there for the original airbox. I didn't actually affect anything that way, so it'll all still mount back up. But I had to open it up a little bit so I could get the turbo to sit down in there enough. All right, we're going high tech here, holding this turbo in place so we can actually start mounting it. This turbo is something like 45 pounds, so holding it by hand is just not feasible. But I think that's pretty much where I want it. I think it really looks clean in there. And as far as height goes, it's really close, but I think, look at that. I should be able to get a hood on there if I want to, with that fitted in there. Now, you might be thinking that there's no airflow to the turbo, but actually right here next to the headlight, there is actually a rather large opening, and I'm probably just gonna fit a turbo guard on the front of this thing. So no air filter or anything like that. So in my experience, when I'm mounting a turbo, always the first tube is the hardest step, because after you get that one tacked into place, it basically sets everything else in stone and you can build around that. So the key here is to determine, one, exactly where you want this turbo to be, and two, think about the routing beforehand before you just start trying to chop things up to make it fit. If you have an idea going into it, you can execute that plan a lot better than just kind of going on the fly. So take your time, sit back, think about it for a while, decide exactly how you want to do it, and then execute it. Now in this case, there's going to be two tubes that actually come up into the flange itself. I think for this primary flange here, I'm going to actually go out and then come up and have it meet up on the far side of the flange here. And then the inside one will actually run down in between the frame rail and the turbo manifold and go back and tuck towards the block and then go back there to meet up with the crossover tube. I know that probably made no sense whatsoever, because you don't actually know what I'm thinking in my head. I just got to build it. So let's get started. All right, we've got something going on here. I don't know if this is exactly going to be the final rendition or not, but you can see it kind of tucks around, goes into the flange. Now this other pipe right here is going to go down and then, like I said, connect back to our crossover tube back there. So the turbo is fairly well tucked down in there. And it will actually fit below the hood, barely. So that's good. Not a lot of room for our downpipe here to come around the back and then shoot down there. We'll see what we can do with that. All right, I'm excited. We have our turbo placed here. This is where it's going to live. Now we can build off of it from here. This is always the most difficult part, getting the initial placement done, because you're trying to hold everything in place while you're trying to tack it together. It can be a bit of a pain, but we've got it placed now. Now we can start building out the rest of our hot side. Now, as you guys remember, I now need to connect the passenger side turbo manifold, essentially wrap it around underneath the transmission, run it up alongside the block on the driver's side, and connect to this piece that I just made to actually mount the turbo. All right, I just want to address right off the bat too, I'm sure you guys have a great many concerns about me having this ridiculously hot turbo manifold, and downpipe running right over the top of this valve cover and these coil packs right here. I do want to tell you that I have some solutions in mind for that, but you guys are just going to have to wait until those next episodes to see what I come up with. Now we're going to move to the underside of the vehicle, and I'm going to start building off of this flange from the turbo and run that down alongside the block towards the back of the block, where then that crossover tube can connect to. I think that's going to be my next step. So we can see our outlet right there that we need to connect to. That needs to take a hard bend here and follow alongside the frame underneath our engine mount there. Come out here. You gotta avoid this steering shaft. Maybe I'll come out on this side of the steering shaft, and then it'll connect. Let's see, maybe I'll come out on this side of the steering shaft and it'll connect over to the crossover tube right there. All right, so pretty happy with this location right here where this is coming out. Actually, I guess technically that would be going in, but we just need to make a connection tube here, a crossover pipe over to this side, right to there. So we're gonna come right on down underneath the bell housing, right into there. Should be a pretty straightforward pipe to make. All right, so here you can see I've got my crossover started. It's definitely a little bit different style than the rest of the tube, but you can see it comes down, and I did want to use a flex bellows here. Now I can hear you guys screaming at me right now, don't use this flex bellows, it's gonna come apart in your turbo and explode it. Guys, this is a special type of flex coupler. You can see on the inside here, it's almost more of a slip joint than it is a flex coupler. So it's not gonna come apart and damage the turbo. I'm actually really happy with these. I got these from Ace Race Stainless, as long with all the rest of this materials was from Ace Race Stainless. So you can see here, all I do is connect that centerpiece. Went ahead and did that. So I love the way this came together, this crossover tube. It's actually above the height of the cross member as well, so I don't really have to worry about smashing it into anything. Love the way it came out. So there you have it, guys. This is your big single turbo conversion on your 2005 Magnum that already has a supercharger installed kit. Now, would have been nice if I could have just bought this thing off the shelf, but here we are now. Now it becomes a laborious process of actually welding this thing all up. Now, as I mentioned, I'm going to be back purging all of this, so it'll be a little bit finicky to get it all set up, but I'm excited to see how the results turn out, and I'm especially excited to get these manifolds installed for the final time on this project. So here's my rig for doing the back purge setup. You can see I got this dual regulator here, just the Amazon special. Got my line here running over to the actual manifold itself. And as I understand it, this argon is heavier than air, so it's all going to want to settle anyway. So I've went ahead and actually bolted the flange directly to this spare cylinder head that I have, hopefully to keep this flange nice and flat while I'm actually welding it all up. So hopefully the argon will just kind of pool inside of here. Now, obviously there are some cracks here that will allow that argon to escape. That's okay, not a big deal. But let's just get this thing as welded up as we possibly can, like it is, before I actually pull it off of the cylinder head, and then I'll weld the little areas that I can't quite get to with it bolted down. Well, I have to say, I'm really happy with how this is coming out so far. Really liking the look of these. Now, I have to admit that welding thicker stainless like this is not the most difficult thing in the world. It's certainly not like welding thicker aluminum. This is much more simple, and it's easy to get a nice result, but I'm happy with that. I think it turned out really well. We're gonna move on now to our second turbo manifold. Now, if you're wondering, I'm probably going to wire wheel these turbo manifolds when they're all done. That way it's one even color, and that when they do heat up, they'll heat up evenly. I know a lot of people like the rainbows and the has here, that their heat affected zone here that the stainless has, but honestly at this point I'm kind of over it a little bit. I just want to wire wheel them all, make them one nice even color. So we're making some very good progress on what I am calling our up pipe, because essentially both banks come up into the flange into our turbocharger right here. So this is our up pipe. Now, I went ahead and welded up a lot of these seams here. However, I won't be able to weld all of the seams on the other pipe unless I actually knock this tube off of the flange first. Then I can weld everything up. Then I can put this pipe back on the flange and get it all welded up. Now, of course, because we are dealing with stainless and just in the nature of these things with this many seams, this thing's going to move. It's gonna flex, it's gonna move a little bit. It's okay, I kind of accounted for that. Our crossover pipe right here, I'm not welding this up solid because I know there's going to be a little bit of movement here. So once I get the turbo manifolds back onto the vehicle and get this up pipe back into place, then I can actually find our final fitment on our crossover tube here and actually weld that all up solid. This is what happens when you make your tacks way too strong. Ho-ho! Success! So a real step forward today. We got a ton of this welding done. Now our hot side isn't completely finished yet. I still have to weld up that crossover tube that goes underneath the vehicle. Now again, with all of the heating and cooling of this stainless, I suspect it will have moved at least a little bit. So I may have to do a little bit of fine tuning to get that crossover tube to fit perfectly. Not a big deal, then I'll get that welded up. Also, on this up pipe here, I am going to be welding a couple of supports on it that connect to the engine block. That way it can help prevent any stress on this thing. I don't want to have to deal with any kind of cracks or anything like that. So we're going to build some support mounts off of this piece here. Now, the last thing, we have to install a wastegate. Now the wastegate is going to go right here on the face of the up pipe. There'll be a tube that comes off of here, and basically the wastegate will sit parallel right next to the turbocharger. But I can't do that until I get this thing back in the vehicle so I can fit it correctly. So of course that means we've got to get these turbo manifolds back in the car for good, but you guys will see that on the very next episode. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time on Reignited.